If you are struggling with Chinese and you think Chinese is hard, I can surely tell you, you are wrong. Those people who teach you Chinese, they will tell you single Chinese characters, but they won't tell you why these weird squiggles of 你好 means hello. They don't even tell you there is a very interesting tricks in Chinese, and this can help you correct your pronunciation. Well, in this episode, I'm going to break down 5 things you don't know, and I'm going to explain you why Chinese is not as hard as you think. So let's get started. Our first topic starts with the tricks that can help you find your pronunciation if it's right. Okay, let me ask you a question. How do you speak these words in your language? Okay, now I'm going to show you how to speak this in Chinese. Okay, mouth is 口 and nose is 鼻, tongue is 舌, well, thread is 喉, and eyes is 眼, where ears is 耳. Well, this doesn't seem any matters, right? But I want you to repeat again and pay attention to the airflow from your mouth and vibrating from your throat. Well, interesting happens. When you speak throat in Chinese, that is 喉, right? 喉. And you will find the vibrating part of the thread and the air flows near to the vibration part. And the other thing is, when you start speaking 口, well, all the air on your mouth starts to concentrate through near to your muscles. And the contrary thing is when you speak tongues, that is 舌, well, this flows is near to your tongue and then spit out. And the other things like 鼻, your nose, the inner part of your nose starts vibrating, and you will find this is, as you can see, the charm part of Chinese. Why? Where you want to express where the vibrating is and where the sound happens, where the airflow comes. This is why Chinese is beautiful, and this is almost the only language that can have this phenomenon. When you speak some part of your head, and you will find you need to use all your muscles on your face, and the trick help you find if you are truly know how to pronounce these tongues. If you are really speaking in the right pronunciation, and the relative part of your head start to work with your sound. So this is the trick that can help you find if your pronunciation is right. Number 2, the single and compound Chinese characters. I know that you may feel Chinese characters so that complex, and you may give example like 相, 住, 习, 前, 曾, 燕, 燕, 狼. Well, in this situation, I gotta tell you, Chinese seems so precise. And I can tell you a truth that is, apart this pinyin, 99% of Chinese cannot even read this, even me. And the real situation is that we try to use descriptive words and sentence to share the meaning, and try to use more characters like this kind of character with some interesting story. Let me give you an easy example like 山. Okay, this means mountain. Well, this character originally from a scenario like a mountain with 3 peaks. And this is 人, also means people. While this word means like one continuously walking, and this is 2 legs. And this is what we use in our daily life. While people will say, is that any single character has this meaning like pigs or walking or other things? If this character is so abstract, and is there any abstract Chinese story for this character? Well, let me give you a more abstract example, like 好. Okay, this character is combined by a girl and a children. Well, you need to know more about our culture in the ancient times, like in a great family. More kids means more happiness and more productivity. This means good. This is originally how good this word in Chinese comes. Then the other people must think, wow, you're just talking about the single characters, but I'm going to talk about words. The words that complex. Okay, in fact, the compound words is also has a nice meaning. Like 电, okay, this originally means electricity, and now, okay, this means brain. What does electricity and brain combined together means? That's computer. And other words like 火, okay, this is fire, and this has a scenario shape of these words. What does a fire combine with a vehicle together? Let's think about the early times, how train works. Okay, you got add some fuels like coals to heat it up and get more steam, and use steam to pull out this train, and this is how train work, right? So fire plus vehicle, 火, and 车, that means train. So we just create these new words through something that we ever know, like electricity, like fire, or like any other things, then combine this together to make it a new meaning. And another interesting thing is about mountain and the person. And let's add a new character of sea. And this in Chinese means 海. Also the meaning of ocean. And now let's make this a totally brand new slang with these characters, like people, mountain, people, sea. People, mountain, people, sea. This is actually an idiom in Chinese. It means massive people together. So as I mentioned, Chinese used to make a totally new meaning from the words they have seen. This means in the very beginning part you may feel, oh, that's very difficult, but as you learn further, you will realize that you can understand new things with what you ever learned. So this is what I want to mention about. And before we leave this part, I wanted you to comment me, can you use what you have learned to create new things in Chinese? 3. The efficiency and the learning cost. Well, this should be mentioned as early as possible, but why now I mentioned about this? Because as you can see, Chinese is actually a language that when you first start with it, you realize, oh, that is very difficult, that difficult. But once you learn further, you'll find that your efficiency rocked up and your learning cost jumped out. Let me give you a very easy example in both Chinese and English. 烟眉, 无烟眉, 褐眉. Well, I'm talking about the type of coal, and these 3 words is actually about lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. If you are not majoring in mining engineering or you're not working with coal, you probably don't know what these words mean. Well, in Chinese, you can see 褐, actually that is a color, it's brown, and 褐眉 is brown coal, and 烟 is smoke, so 烟眉 should be smoke coal, and 无烟眉 should be non-smoke coal. That means bituminous, you burn it up and smoke comes, and anthracite, you burn it up with no smoke. Well, how easy you can understand this in Chinese? While in English, you may have to know what is the definition of these words, and you got to spend more time on these things. If you don't believe this, let me give you another example in medical. Okay, Here's the words come like this. Somebody help. I don't want to read about this because it's very long. And the Chinese meaning of this word is 矽肺病. While 矽means like non-organic mining dust and 肺 means long, 病 means disease. This word has also explained that this disease is caused by patients taking too much non-organic mining dust, and it suggested solutions. Scientific words in English often seem so difficult to remember. And nickname comes. Let's take coal as example. And sometimes if you don't know about bituminous, you can say that is soft coal. And the anthracite is also named as hard coal. Okay, this is about just a nickname, but this is still so difficult to understand the real meaning. And another question comes. Are you indicate that smoke has a relation with the hard or soft level? Well, Chinese will directly told you this is just a coal, you burn it up, you just no smoke, and this is the kind of coal you burn it, there is a smoke, or just this is the brown color coal. In Chinese, the name has directly told you the features. Now, have you get my meaning about once you learn further, your efficiency rocket up and your learning cost jumped out. But while in the same situation in English, you have to spend more time on knowing the definition of the words. You don't need to remember so much professional or unique words in every unique industry, but you can communicate to the professions in Chinese. That is much more efficient than English. And the fourth part is about the grammar. Everybody hates grammar, especially in Roman language. Just about a sentence may conclude tense conjugation, horrific conjugation, masculine feminine nouns, and other things like the, or other things. That is too complicated. So when you first learn Chinese, you may thought about, oh, is Chinese has these things? And surely told, no, you want to express the specific things, just add a little unique words. Here is a nice example, like, what are you doing? Okay, this is English. In Chinese, you can say, 你在干什么呢? Or instead, 什么 into 啥? 你在干啥呢? The answer of this sentence is absolutely easy. You don't even to say the subject. 吃苹果. 3 words, and the first word is a verb 吃 eat, and the other 2 single character combined together. 苹果 means apple. You don't have to say the subject. 吃苹果. You want to answer this in a full sentence, you can say 我吃苹果呢. 我 the subject, I 吃苹果 eat apple. The fifth thing I want to break down is the measure word. Okay, I think this is the most difficult part when you first stepped into Chinese. Not even in Chinese, but also in like English or other language. But is there anyone can tell you just use one measure word can fix 80% of work in your daily use? In English, can you give me an example? I don't know an actual words can do this, but in Chinese, you actually really can use just one measure word to fix 80% of your daily work. That is 个. You want to say person? 个. 纸 个. 苹果 个. One 个 person. One 个苹果. One 个 your things. You name it. This can fix the 80% of work in your daily use. So next time, if you don't know the measure words you want to express, just use 个. While in English, maybe this is not work. So now we can get our conclusion. Chinese is a language that you first start with it, you may think, oh, that is difficult. Actually, if you think Chinese is really difficult, That means you are making progress. You are making progress. That's right. I can show you the learning curve of Chinese is just like this. And once you feel difficult, you're actually making progress with yourself. It starts with a very difficult stage, and the learning efficiency will jump out after you overcome this stage. I will make so many examples for you in these videos, like call or other single words, and I actually want to express this one concept. A difficult language perhaps is a bad language, but not necessarily. Chinese is as seen a difficult language, but is not a bad language. Chinese has sacrificed that you have to learn two systems in speaking and writing, but some subset of this language, like a number system, is really easy. Well, these are the advantage and disadvantage of Chinese, and every language has its advantage and disadvantage. So my value is that if I can help you overcome these difficulties in the very beginning stage, hope someday you can spend less effort on understanding the scientific terms and the internet slangs, and you can spend more time on learning what you want. If your efficiency is up, you will find, oh, Chinese is actually interesting and is not as hard as what I'm just saying before. So let's don't be unconfident or discouraged. Just take it easy and you'll find, oh, it's just okay. The last part I want to say is that I've helped some students to overcome their pronunciation mistake and make them feel better when they're learning Chinese. And I've concluded a Word document that includes 10 small courses to help you build your confidence, and each class that has few words and a few sentences that can overcome a small scenario or situation you gotta face. So if you are interested in this document, you want to study Chinese with me, just give me a comment. Don't forget to give me a comment of how if you are convinced that Chinese is not as hard as you think. Please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe and comment if you think this video is helpful. And if you have any questions about Chinese, culture, history, just comment below. Keep it subscribed and you will find more interesting about Chinese. This is Jay and I will see you in the next episode.